Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Zazzle Chat. You might remember Meighan here. She's been on a couple times already. She's pretty much a pro. She is our apparel category manager. And if you haven't noticed, we recently updated all our kids apparel. So Meighan's going to walk us through some of the updates, what we updated, and then we're going to talk through some of the trends and, give you guys an idea of what to do for holidays. So, first of all, Meighan, when was the last time we updated apparel?
It's been several years. It was before I even joined Zazzle, so I think around 2013 was the last time we even looked at the kids offering.
Okay. So what was the point of this refresh, and kind of what are some of the big things that we accomplished with this refresh?
I think it was twofold. One, we've obviously been moving towards a new aesthetic for our entire apparel offerings. We wanted kids to kind of follow suit there, but we also really wanted to look at the line, the offering, the styles, and make sure it was still modern, still made sense for those kids out there.
And when you say aesthetics, what do you mean?
You'll notice the background color is different on the model shots versus some of our other product shots. So the lighting is different, and there's a little bit more dimension. They look a little bit more real. And we're really trying to anchor ourselves towards, more lifestyle, right? So you be inspired by some of the photography that you see with the kids and the updated styles.
Awesome. And I noticed we have like a ton more models. How many models do we actually have?
It was a crazy week of shooting. We brought in about 16 over the course of 5 days. So definitely a lot of little kids running around, but I think that they all represent kind of a different style, a different aesthetic, a different take on the style that they are representing. So adding a little bit more, true kid flair to the site.
Cool. So yeah, if you want to check it out, I think the easiest way to check out all the kids apparel is to go to Create and then check out Kids Apparel, and they'll all be lined up there. Those are all the blanks, and you can start designing from there. That being said, let's talk about what you said, update them to be more contemporary, add new SKUs. Let's talk about that. So I think first of all, we added more dark apparels.
Yeah, so I think for our kids line, we had traditionally offered a lot of light colors, and we know that kids get dirty and like to wear darker colors, right? So some reds and navies and royal blues. So we want to make sure across a lot of the key styles, like your hoodies and long sleeves and performance shirts, that we were offering more of that color breadth there. So definitely looking for some great designs that would really help speak to that offering now.
Yeah, I think when you design on light and dark, there's just a slight difference. I know also that our light and dark apparel printing is slightly different as well.
Yeah. So for dark apparel, we actually layer on white ink before the design is actually printed on the shirt. So that's why it kind of looks a little bit more vibrant. But if you were, say, designing on a light colored shirt, like a yellow, for instance, you'll see that we don't put white beneath the actual inks. So your design might have a little bit of that yellow tint, right? So sometimes more text-based designs and darker designs will work for that, but you won't get that huge pop that you will with dark apparel. And our performance shirts are all done in the kind of light apparel way. So even if you see some color offering there, it's still going to be a little bit tinted by the color of the shirt itself. And so that's just a key subtlety to note.
And I think because we have to add on that extra layer and it takes more time, it does account for, that's why you might notice our light apparel and our dark apparel have a different cost, and there's more of an upsell when you buy dark apparel. Mm-hmm. So just something to know on the production side of how things happen. We refreshed hoodies, so we added dark apparels for hoodies as well.
Yep.
And then one thing that I'm excited about is neons.
Yeah, so neon is a huge trend for kids, probably other consumer segments as well, but it's really hard to actually visualize just how bright and awesome these colors are. So in the tank, we'll have a short sleeve, but, these are just a couple colors that you'll start to see in the offering. This is, a basic kind of Bella canvas t-shirt that's really, really soft, and the tank version. And we'll have some neons offered in the performance apparel too. So if the kids are a little bit sporty, they'll have that offering as well.
Yeah, and I think even on camera it's going to be hard to see the neon. Neon's just one of those like really bright things, and I think it's really matching with what's going on in the marketplace.
Yeah.
Outside of Zazzle, you're going to see brighter colors, and these are great for kids who are playing out in the street who need a little more visibility. So
Yeah.
we're excited to have the neons join
Yep.
the family.
Mm-hmm.
You'll also notice we are trying to be more price sensitive, especially for the kids line. So we have our basic shirt that starts out under $15. I think that's really important. Obviously, we have a whole portfolio of products, and some are a little more expensive, some are cheaper. But we're really trying to appeal to that value consumer who is looking to not spend a ton but still get something cool for their kids.
Yeah, I think it's important to know that the whole offering may sometimes look like we have similar offerings in t-shirts or such, but you'll see that there's a very deliberate kind of good, better, best offering. And so keep that in mind too when you're publishing your designs. Do you want it on that basic Hanes that might be a little bit rough, more value, but we also have the American Apparel and more elevated brands to consider as well.
And it's really nice. You can publish it on one and customers can easily style switch. And we're working on updating that. So I think all in all, we have a great offering for all the kids and parents alike.
Mm-hmm.
So just so you know, we did launch all these products, but we wanted to let you know if you had previously published a product on a kid's shirt, it was actually migrated to a new style. So can you talk about the migration process and how that worked?
Yeah, so there's probably two different subtleties. One is there's definitely products that we had that we kept. We just reshot them in this updated photography standard. So if you publish a design on those styles that we kept, no fear, those designs still live on and they look a little bit better, actually. For styles that we actually dropped or replaced, we made sure that your designs that were published on those products were actually migrated to like products that continued in the assortment, because we didn't want to abandon kind of all the work you guys have done so far. So really just tried to match up where that content should live on like styles.
So if you've published something before, have no fear, it's still in your store. But take a look and see how what style it is on. You can easily, even though you can't change the design, when you go into your store, you can still change how you merchandise it. So you can choose another shirt, another style, and that won't affect anything. So take a second look, just kind of gander through your kids' apparel. Cool. So now that school is back in session, for a while there was a ton of back to school stuff. Some of the trends, let's just talk about some of the trends that we're seeing sell well on kids' apparel. So first of all, what I've noticed is some of our top sellers are like Big Brother, Big Sister, kind of something very personalized. If you're going to spend more money to get a customized shirt, it has to kind of mean something. So when you look at the marketplace, Big Brother, Big Sister, birthday shirts, I didn't know that was a thing, but looking at our marketplace, like James is turning 3, something like that, something cute, and that's memorable as well. What have you seen in the marketplace?
We constantly notice that sport-inspired styles are always in, and I think especially in the fall, that's pretty critical, right? As you enter football season or back to school, where kids are getting back into some athletic programs. So we made sure that we kind of went deeper on some of the styles that we see sell really well for adults. Make sure we have the equivalent offering in kids. So we kind of launched, some ringers, some raglans, some football T-shirts, to add a little bit more of that sport-inspired flair.
Cool, yeah, and sports, I think, from the style, but also the design standpoint. Football, gymnastics, the Olympics just passed. Mm-hmm. Everyone loves gymnastics during the Olympics. We're seeing those start popping up. Science shirts has been really popular, science and engineering shirts. So for those people who want to get their kids a head start on the sciences, more power to you. And then one thing we're seeing as well is kind of family reunion, family related things. Especially as the holidays start coming up and you start having these family gatherings, especially as we kind of enter into the Christmas card season.
Yeah, it's true.
So one thing that we have noticed is, obviously you can get your Christmas cards at Zazzle as well, But when you're thinking about meeting the family, it'd be so cute when the whole family has kind of matching shirts and they can do that. And so actually a lot of our styles, Meighan has worked with the vendors to make sure we have selections from either toddler all the way kids, teens, women's, men's. So just an example, we were talking about sports inspired, but here we launched this little baby raglan.
I think we did that like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, and so we've launched the men's and women's, and now we have the kids styles. So it's kind of like a whole portfolio of family ones. So this is just one example of that, and you can kind of find those in the style selector.
Yeah, again, I think having family t-shirts, group t-shirts, team t-shirts doesn't always have to be just your basic white t-shirt. So I think definitely get a little bit more creative.
Yeah, another one is these little raglans. These are the toddlers, and this is the men's, and then I'm wearing the women's. So just need a family to add to it. But we have a lot of like matching styles that are really cute as well. So.
Yeah, one actually on-trend one that we have is the Spirit jersey. So I know there's been some excitement around launching that women's version last year, so we just launched the girls version as well in the same product type. So this is just, the women's one that we have on site, but then you'll have the youth version as well.
Yeah, youth. Yeah. So we don't have a men's one for that, but it's like a mommy-daughter shirt matching.
Yeah.
Mommy and
sisters.
Me. Yeah. Sisters, yeah. So, cool. So, we're obviously spending a lot of time revamping apparel. Apparel has always been a very important part of Zazzle. And as we enter the holiday season, there's actually going to be a lot more focus on apparel this year from a promotional standpoint, from a marketing and a merchandising standpoint. So, as we start entering the holiday, start thinking about and start taking a look at your apparel offering and make sure that you're kind of getting it ready. Like, when you clean your closet once a year, it's like cleaning and organizing your closet, organizing your Zazzle store. I think this is a great time to start it. It's like fall, back to school. You might have a little more time if the kids are back in school. Maybe.
Hypothetically.
We all get really busy. But this is a great time to kind of look at kids apparel. And we will be talking about adult apparel shortly, but this was more on kids, and we're really excited. We have great models, really cute models that really help sell the products. This is a really exciting time.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we'll be back in shortly to talk about adult apparel, but in the meantime, take a look at all your kids apparel.